Hey, welcome back and to the third series on bouncing back from setbacks. And before I get started with talking about bouncing back from setbacks, I just want to say what you're feeling is okay. This is definitely a challenging situation and one that it's not going to be just the easiest thing to bounce back from. Yet the model on how to bounce back can definitely be helpful, and then we'll dig a little deeper as we get going. But again, what you're feeling is okay. So the basic model that I teach on bouncing back from setbacks centers around the egg and the ball. The egg and the ball is a great metaphor for understanding bouncing back from setbacks. So when I tell my students, there's no question you will experience setbacks in life. The question is, when you experience setbacks in life, will you experience them like the ball, or will you experience it like the egg? You see, the egg and the ball both hit the ground initially the same way. They compress. However, the egg uses that compression as a reason to quit, to give up. The ball uses that same compression as a reason to double its efforts, to try a different perspective or change their approach and work towards bouncing. So I want to talk a little bit about how you bounce back. So we teach 5 basic strategies on bouncing back. The first one is to learn from our role models and to draw motivation from role models. Some examples of role models might be famous people like Walt Disney. Did you know he was fired from his job on a newspaper because he was told he lacked creative imagination? And yet Walt Disney has become probably the very definition of creative imagination as the great Imagineer. Today, we can look to role models like our first responders and our medical professionals who are finding ways to work really hard and grit through a challenging situations to help everyone and to grow in ways that are just really heroic. And we can also look to people in our own family, people that are trying to find ways to make things safe and calm and make ends meet in challenging situations. All of these are great examples of being gritty, having strength of character through challenging situations. All right, so the second thing we can do is we can increase our effort or change our perspective or change our approach. And instead of blaming our circumstance and blaming our abilities, we can change our effort or our approach or, a little bit of our perspective. Number 3, we can use positive self-talk to tell ourselves that we can do it and to slow down and just get it day by day or even hour by hour. And also in that self-talk to remind ourselves that this isn't permanent. Another thing we can do is as we make mistakes, we can learn from whatever those mistakes are and adjust. And then last but not least, we can cultivate a deep interest in growth. That we are really trying to grow through this experience, to find ways to stay engaged, stay connected, and grow. So those are the strategies on how to bounce. Now, in this scenario, we would add a couple of more strategies. So first off, it's okay to be the egg for a little while. It's kind of a crazy situation. But the key is how long are you there? It's not how many times you get knocked down. What's really important is how many times are you going to get back up. All right. So the other big thing to keep in mind is that this is not permanent. That this is going to change and you're going to get back to a normal, maybe a new normal, but you're going to get back to something that is way more normal. And then also to remember that while we want to accept our feelings, we also want to keep them at functional levels rather than dysfunctional levels. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. But until then, I gotta bounce.